Hi and welcome. Today we're taking a look at the Spaceport map, but not the standard layout. We'll be focusing on the 2-cap version instead. First, we need to get a basic understanding of the map to see how matches usually play out. The team that spawns on the north side has a built-in advantage right from the start. Here's why. Some players go straight to the hill near their spawn, and from there they can easily pick off anyone trying to cross the canal that runs across the map. As you can imagine, that gives them early map control and allows the northern team to dominate half the battlefield almost immediately. You should also keep in mind that the team spawning on the north side can cross the canal without any real resistance and take control of the hills in C7. That means they're not just holding their side of the map, they also get access to extra map control on the southern side. The urban area of the map, along with the small section around Point B, is basically the main battleground. That's where most of the fighting takes place. The rest of the map usually stays under the control of the southern team. As you can see from the image on screen, even at the very start of the match, the southern team is already at risk of getting surrounded. Now let's move on to the practical part and start with playing from the bottom spawn. By now, I hope it's clear that going left is a waste of time. You'll just get deleted by the guy camping on the hill. In simple terms, the left flank is lost before the match even begins, thanks to the brilliant map design. So that leaves us with one real option to give our team some breathing room and avoid getting locked into full defense. We need to push into D7 as fast as possible and make sure we hold it before the enemy does. Guys, while I'm making my way to the key position, there's something I want you to keep in mind. The match won't always play out exactly the way I described. Sometimes you'll get teammates who actually know what they're doing, like players who use smoke shells to block the sniper's line of sight and rush across the canal to the other side. Or maybe you'll have absolute beasts on your team who trade one tank for 3 or 4 and completely turn the tide. The point is, this whole map theory part is based on what I've seen in most of my matches on this layout. But that's the beauty of War Thunder. Even when a match seems predictable, there's always room for chaos. So, like I said earlier, our minimum goal is to stop the enemy flankers from breaking through D7. If we manage to win the fight for this sector, the map shifts back into a balanced state, and things become way easier for our team. Why? Because we'll have removed the biggest threat, the enemy flankers. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you already know that I usually split battles into 2 phases. In Phase 1, we hold the line and deal with enemies who mindlessly rush forward. And in Phase 2, once the front line is cleared, we go on the offensive. But here's the thing. On this layout, that approach doesn't really work. From the very beginning of the match, we have to play aggressively. Even if we manage to win the fight for D7, we still need to push forward as fast as possible and secure the power position in B7 so we can start putting pressure on the enemy spawn. To simplify things, this whole match is basically a race against the enemy flanker. While they're trying to rush to E1, cross the canal and start spawn camping, we're stuck having to win a close-range brawl in D7 first, and only then can we start applying pressure in return. This hill in B7 is an absolute power position. From here you can rack up a solid number of kills, but more importantly, you'll draw the enemy team's attention. Not only will you be dealing a ton of damage, but you'll also become a massive distraction for the enemy. And I don't know about you, but I love being a huge problem for the other team. By the way, take a look at where the second enemy flanker ended up. Yeah, it's insane how unbalanced this game mode is for the team that spawns on the bottom. Overall, we've pretty much wrapped up our gameplay from this side. At this point, the job is simple. Shoot anything that moves and hope our team can somehow deal with the spawn campers. Now look, I get it. For some of you, this kind of gameplay sucks. You're not into farming helpless players who just rolled out of spawn. But the sad truth is, in this game mode, we don't really have a better option if we actually want to win. By the way, I'd really love to hear your feedback on the map theory part I showed at the beginning of the match. Do you think it's useful or should I skip it next time? Maybe you've got ideas on how to make it better. As always, I'm open to your suggestions, so let me know what you think in the comments. Also, I'd like to know, should I even bother making guides for 2-cap layouts? The thing is, these game modes don't show up that often, definitely less frequently than the classic 3-cap ones. That's why, up until now, 2-cap guides have been low priority in my content plan. I figured I'd get to them only after I was done covering all the 3-cap maps. But lately, this version of the map has been popping up 2 to 3 times per session, so I thought, you know what? Let's give it a shot and make a guide. Anyway, I'll be waiting for your thoughts down in the comments. Before we move on to the other side of the map, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my content and helping the channel grow by dropping likes and leaving tons of comments under each video. I truly appreciate it, and it means a lot to me. Also, I've noticed that some players are seriously struggling with their teammates in random matches. Well, I've got some good news for you. There are at least 13,145 people out there who actually want to get better at the game. So hopefully over time we'll start seeing fewer people mindlessly YOLOing forward, and the overall skill level will keep going up, which means more fun matches for everyone. And finally, a huge shout out to my channel members. Thank you for supporting me financially. You guys are absolute legends, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Guys, playing from the other side is way easier. If for some reason you don't feel like actively participating in the match and just want a super passive playstyle, you can always do the classic thing and park yourself on the hill to make sure no one crosses over to your side of the map. But if you're in the mood to wipe out the enemy team, then we're going for the flank. Our first objective, get to E1. Of course, while we're moving out, we need to keep an eye on the left side and watch the mini-map. Our goal here is to figure out if the enemy managed to cross the canal. If this is your first time trying this flank, I'd actually recommend staying on this hill for 20 to 30 seconds. Take your time and check if anyone's camping in F2 or somewhere nearby. Better safe than sorry. Once we're sure no one's waiting for us, we move up to the hill in F2. From here, there are 3 key areas we need to keep under control. The exit from the enemy spawn, the hill where enemies sometimes set up, and a small part of the town where enemy vehicles might occasionally wander in. Now our job is simple. Deal damage, draw enemy attention, and make things easier for our team fighting in the middle of the map. By the way, guys, I play this map exactly the same way, no matter what tank I'm using. Even if I don't end up winning, I usually pick up 5 or 6 kills without much trouble. Also, don't forget to keep an eye to your right, because the guys you just took out will definitely be coming back for revenge. Once half of the enemy team is out of the match, we can push forward a little more, and from there we'll have a clear line of sight on their spawn. And that's it. Some absolutely amazing flanking gameplay on this perfectly balanced map. Truly a masterpiece of level design. Anyway, that's all I've got for you today. Hope this guide helps you grind your way to victory, or at least survive the chaos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.